What's up, y'all? Happy Thursday. I am currently holding a bucket of very rank compost. It does not smell good. I have a couple of hours to myself tonight. My daughter went to a football game with some of our friends. I posted a video a few days ago just to let y'all know what was going on. The fact that I am now doing all this by myself. And that to say, I have not been super consistent about watering the Hightunnel. We are getting some rain in the forecast tonight, actually, and then the next couple days, for which I am super grateful because we need it very badly. Sorry, I'm just looking at my hives. I see bees on the entrance, and I just want to make sure they weren't dead. But compost is like one of those things that oh my goodness, that's so gross. If you want to make it yourself, it has to be tended like you would tend a plant. It needs moisture, it needs temperature monitoring, and I am not that good at doing all those things with our compost pile. But to be very honest with you, lately I'm not really good at doing much of anything because everything has just felt like super overwhelming to me. And so I'm trying to just let myself have my feelings and give myself grace for and hope, obviously, that like it will get better and, you know, eventually like I will get back to feeling like myself. But looking around the weeds that are like 7 feet tall, everything is in a pretty bad state of disarray. But I believe that I will get to the point where, you know, I'm able to kind of move past this. And we still don't know what's happening, if we're staying or we're going to have to move. So until that happens, I'm just kind of holding everything very loose. I did know, though, and I was right, that I had lots of ripe peppers down here, which is super exciting. There's more okra to be harvested also. Look at all those peppers, y'all. Oh my gosh. Super duper exciting. I still got a little bit of green on it. All of these have like, that one's ripe. Beautiful, beautiful peppers. This is my first time growing the Nona's sweet Italian peppers. Ooh, look at that one. And they have not disappointed. I also have got a ripe Criolla de Cocina pepper, which I've grown many times, but this is the first year I'm having like really good success with them. And these ones have just a little bit of green on them. I think I could probably harvest this one. So we're gonna let those keep going. I need to water while I'm in here because it is a little bit dry. But we're going to walk around and just get the lay. So starting over here on the north side of the Hightunnel, we've got green beans growing. Oh gosh. Am I the only one that does this? Y'all go to pull green beans. And of course, like a dummy, I'm doing it one-handed and I pull off the whole plant. There's nothing really over here. Lots of weeds. This is calendula that reseeded itself. This is the Hungarian heart tomato, but I don't know if that one's got a lot of holes in it. So I am guessing there are probably a lot of worms in that one. So this one then gets donated. And this plant looks very sad and saggy for some reason. I don't know why. When I came in here the other day, it was totally fine. But we are getting on in the season, so it may just be ready to be done. Here's one. She's pretty ripe. And that one also. Love that. I got one more over here. Beautiful. Oh wait, two more. They'll split a little bit, but that's okay. They'll still be useful. We have okra in this bed that is growing and starting to flower. And this, these are brassicas that I don't need to grow. But the carrots looks like are going to need to be thinned out here very soon. I got some over here. There. That is awesome. There's something in here. Oh, that's just water. Okay. My spider buddy is still there. She is doing the most, let me tell you. They are so good for the garden. Gnarly as all get out, but really good for the garden. Sunrise bumblebee cherry tomatoes are my favorite. And I don't know, oh man, that one's split, so is that one. Pretty bad. This one is probably still salvageable. Maybe not. This one is definitely not. So that one gets donated. And this one also, which I'm not even going to bother pulling that one off. It's so nasty and disintegrated. The ground cherries are still surviving. These are starting to wind down. We've still got peppers beyond what I need, I just don't even know what to do with these, y'all. These are accidental jalapenos that were never supposed to be there. They are pretty spicy, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I have a feeling I'm just going to be pulling a lot of these out. I know that you can overwinter peppers, and I may do that with one or two. These little chiltepin peppers, they're so hot, but they grow. I mean, you guys see how many peppers are on this thing? They just grow like crazy. I mean, who'd have thought in September that I would have a harvest basket like that? All right. So down here, I have not planted anything down here. This needs amended. There was kale in here, but as you can see, it's getting eaten up pretty badly. Obviously, the weeds are very healthy. And again, this bed was supposed to be brassicas, but I did not cover them. And critters got to them. So it is, I think, going to be on my task list for Saturday morning to get down here and get some of the things that I have in starter trays at the house down here, get my row covers out and get stuff all covered up. Dill. The dill is taking over this bed, and I'm not mad about it. I love dill. And then in this bed in the middle here, we have dwarf Siberian kale. And then along the sides, we have kohlrabi. This is quickly becoming the cilantro patch, which again, I'm not mad at. I just didn't plant it. It reseeded from prior year. Ooh, look at this pepper, y'all. Like, do you see how big this thing is in comparison to my face? That's crazy. What I could do, because I've got cilantro and I've got these peppers and tomatoes, I could go home and make a fresh batch of salsa, which would be kind of cool. I'm not sure I've got the energy for that tonight. Maybe tomorrow. We'll make that tomorrow. Anne's problem. But stuff in here definitely needs watered. And, you know, I think everything in here is going to need heavily amended before I try to plant anything else for fall. But almost into September, and that's my harvest basket. It's been so warm lately, you guys. Oh, and I planted beets. Only a couple came up, so I went ahead and I reseeded them. I planted more the other day. Oh, let's see if we got okra. Yes, we do. Oh, come on. It's always one of those things that it's like if you leave it too long. I can't tell if this is a bug or if that is like a rotten leaf. But if you leave it too long, it will get massive and woody and unpleasant to try and eat. And I have a feeling these ground cherries need to come up. soon also, because I don't think, I mean, there are ground cherries left on this, but I'm not sure they're going to ripen in time. But I don't need the space quite yet, so maybe we'll just leave them. You know, with everything having been so challenging and just really heavy lately, and sort of the stress of not knowing what's going to happen, I mean, it's like, that's really hard for me, because I'm one of those people, like, I like to know, I like to plan. If I know the plan, I tend to always feel more secure about things, and not knowing, it's just hard for me. It's like it's a weight sitting on my chest, you know? And so I almost just was gonna, like, stay in the house and just clean, but not really do a whole lot else. And these are my beet seeds. They shouldn't be out here. But you know, I have the time. I have no kiddo, and I'm like, I need to get out and just be in my garden. My hands in the soil always makes me feel better. The only other thing I wanted to check for, because we hadn't gotten very many, but I know the deer have been over here, is to see if we had any cucamelons. Looks like we do have a couple. These are Mexican sour gherkins. They're like a little lemony. Ooh, we have quite a few actually. They're like a lemony little cucumber. We love them. They're Sophie's little garden snacks. But we got a bunch of them. I will say also, y'all, like, this is a weird year for us. September is not typically freezing cold. Oh, look at that marigold. Last one. September is not freezing cold for us by any means, but it's generally not this warm, and at least this time of year it's like starting to get chilly. And we had, like, I don't know, we had maybe a week where the temperatures were dipping down, but it has been very, very warm. Which is odd. And I gotta be honest, in one sense, like, I'm very grateful, because I have so much wood that is dried but needs to be chopped, and I have not been able to do that. And I will get to it. But you know, it's like, if it had been really, really cold, then we'd be running the heat in the house, because I also have to get an inspection and a cleaning on our chimney. And they are quoting me more on that than what I can afford right now. So I am, like I said, I'm grateful in one sense that the chilly weather has held off, because it means that me putting that off is not a big deal. Wow, we had a lot of these. That's what happens when you don't go harvest, I guess. I'll stick my hand right in a spider's web. Oh, I hate doing that. Well, we got quite a lot. And I need to do just a dedicated day where I come down and I pull the tulsi. I've got some at the house that's drying. The basil is starting to go to seed. Which actually I wouldn't mind trying to maybe save seeds from that. I come down here and weed whack, and of course it's all grown up again. But I've got canning tomatoes. I've got green ones. So if they ripen in time, we may end up doing something with them. This whole area though, like, you know, I found this year, we put these raised beds in here, and as wonderful as the raised bed garden is, the challenge, of course, is the deer. And until we get like a fence, I keep saying we, well, I guess there's Sophie and I, but until I put a fence around the perimeter, we're just going to continue to have deer issues, because around here, maybe not where you are, oh dang, it's a spider, but around here they literally will eat every blessed thing. Tomato plants, cucumber plants, maybe that's everywhere. To be honest with you, I had not experienced that in other places where I have grown those things. I didn't have deer getting in and trying to eat them. They typically didn't like the things that were textured, or the stems were really textured. Well, that is a beautiful harvest basket, y'all. I'm super grateful for that. And that just looks like, I'm not going to harvest the cilantro because it'll get all wilty, and I want that nice and fresh. But this is enough to make a little bit of salsa, which is cool. And it is such a beautiful night. I weed whacked a few weeks ago in the flower beds just to try to get it a little bit manageable, because it has gotten quite overgrown. And need to come down here and do it again. Our fruit trees that we planted in the summer, I need to get the weeds down from around those. I think I need to feed them. I'm gonna have to look. And believe it or not, I still have potatoes that I need to dig. Oh gosh. Well, I gotta go back and grab our compost bin, because I forgot that and I cannot live without it. Whew. That hill always gets me. But that's all for tonight, guys. Just wanted to give you a rundown of, we're almost at October, what's going on in the Hightunnel. I've got so much stuff to plant out into the Hightunnel, but like I said, a lot of that soil needs amending before I can do that. But hope everyone is having a great start to their autumn, and thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.